Hey witches, if you are enjoying Waking Up the Witch, then you're definitely going to want to check out my magical shop, Moonbee's Wellness in Medford, Oregon. We have a curated collection of crystals, incense, sage, witchy books, tarot, oracle, and so much magic made locally here in the Rogue Valley. Whether you're just beginning your witchy path or you've been on this journey for quite a while, we have so many items to support where you are in your journey. And we ship anywhere in the US, so no need to be local. But Moonbees is more than just a shop. We are also a sacred space and supportive to your healing journey. I'm a Reiki master, and I also offer a lot of intuitive sessions, including past life readings and past life regression sessions. And all of this can be done virtually online, so I can help you no matter where you're at. Come visit us in Southern Oregon or follow Moonbees Wellness on Instagram and Moonbees_Medford on TikTok. And remember, magic's this way.
This episode of Waking Up the Witch is brought to you by Taylar Pickett Styles. I'm Taylar Pickett, and I am an intuitive hairstylist in Southern Oregon. I offer in-person services as well as online tutorials on how to care for your curly hair, how to properly shampoo your hair. If you're a hairstylist, I offer lots of education and one-on-one consulting on how to build your clientele and take care of your clients. If you're interested in any of these services, please reach out to me. There will be a link in the bio. I also offer organic hair care from Innocence Organic Beauty, and you can also buy that online through me, link in the bio, and also on my Instagram page, Taylar Pickett Styles. I also have a TikTok page if you're into just talking a little bit more deeply about things, going into deeper dives about hair care, self-love, and self-worth. My TikTok handle is Southern Oregon Curl. And don't forget, tame nothing, nourish everything. Enjoy this episode. I'm Taylar.
And I'm Amber.
And this is
Waking Up the Witch. We're your neighborhood witches. Each week, we talk about all things witchy and connect with other humans in a storytelling format about navigating life on this floating rock.
We're two curious ladies trying to understand the human experience. But while we do that, we think it's important to honor the people that lived here before us and honor the cultures and traditions that we're being inspired by.
This podcast is about waking up the witch, which means we are learning and growing every day. That being said, we are always open to feedback on how we can do better.
The views and opinions of our guests don't necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Waking Up the Witch. Now, let's go, ghouls. Hello.
Hi.
How's it going?
So good. How are you?
Good. I'm not going to put my headphones on.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you don't really need to. You can hear me perfectly fine.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Waking Up the Witch.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
How are you, Amber?
I'm good. I've just lots of stuff going on.
So much stuff.
You know, just running 4 businesses over here. But we're working on our next Moonlight and Magic event here in Southern Oregon. It's happening on October 18th.
We got drag queens.
Yeah, we have a DJ. We have
belly dancers, tattoos,
tattoo artists, the bar cart with like special witchy cocktail menu, lots of vendors and readers.
So cool. I sometimes am like, I can't believe this is our life.
I know, it's really fucking crazy the jobs we've created for ourselves.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Literally just had a friend
believe it.
last night we were hanging out with, and she's like, how's your guys' stress level? Like to me and Alicia. And we're like, it's fine, actually. Like, it's such a different vibe when the work that you're doing is work that you love and are passionate
it's for
about.
yourself. I don't understand people that are like giving themselves mini strokes and hair loss over someone else's business because I would never. I'm just like, nope, I'm out. Like, there's no amount of money.
Been there in the past, and it's not ever really great money either.
Right.
rarely, I should say.
Totally.
But yeah, life is good. It's crazy. Good things are on the horizon. Good things are changing that have like needed to shift. And so I'm just really looking forward to what's ahead.
Yeah,
It's almost September, so
that's
the
crazy. I
weather's
wore a hoodie
cooling.
and it's probably hot as fuck outside, but I'm just ready.
Yeah, so excited. Patreon has been really fun too. Patreon.com/wakingupthewitch. We've been creating so much fun content over there. Even at the like least expensive tier, each month you get a ritual or a spell
Or
or a
meditation.
meditation.
Yeah.
We ended up loading our first meditation here in the main feed, so you can go back and listen. It's just like totally channeled. Me and Taylor have an idea of like what we want to meditate on, and then we just kind of channel the meditation, which is really beautiful. And then, like, our more expensive tier, you get, like, a monthly hangout with us on video call
Extra
and
episode.
a monthly zine, Q&As. There's, like, a whole chat group. You get a personalized card pull from us and all sorts of stuff. So, if you
We got merch in the work.
yeah, we're working on that. We have, yeah, stickers that will be here. I think they're shipping already.
Yeah, they should be.
So, lots of cool things. If you love this podcast, it's just a really great way to support our work and help us because we pour a lot of time and money into doing this podcast and we've never made money doing this podcast, so we're wanting to
Yeah.
keep doing it, and so that really helps us to get all those things paid for, and we love like connecting with you all too in this way, so we're very excited to
Yeah, I
watch
mean, a
that
day here,
grow.
full day, usually off work for me, and
Yeah.
so that's kind of a lot too, but I really
Yeah.
believe in this, and so
Same.
I am sacrificing a full day of, like, guaranteed money for a hope and a dream and a wish.
Yeah. So help us, support us. There's single purchase options as well. So you don't have to like commit to a monthly subscription if you don't want to, but there's so many ways to support us and we really are grateful for all of those who have already signed up, and I mean even just listening to the podcast is a really great support.
Yes.
So if you can't financially support us, of
Then
course we
go
totally
on
understand.
Instagram and TikTok and just keep hyping us up, push out the content,
Tell a
share,
friend,
like, subscribe, share.
rate
Yes.
us on the
Tell
podcast
everyone that is
platforms.
free and that
Mhm.
helps so much.
Yeah, absolutely. It helps us get some sponsorships in the future too. So, yeah, anyways,
Enjoy this episode. It was really great. I can't wait to even just hang out with her in
I
person and
know she's
chat
so
more and
great.
have cocktails and yeah.
Yeah, we're excited. So, listen to this episode with our guest today, Zania, who is the host of the Retrospective Paths podcast. She had us on her podcast about a month ago or so. The episode was really great. Hanging out with her was so fun. She's a vibe. And
Yeah.
if you
And if
like,
you're here on Spotify, drop us a comment
oh,
below
yeah,
and let us know like your thoughts or opinions and what you think.
yeah, say hi. Enjoy.
And
We can start by grounding our energy and taking some deep, intentional breaths to create this loving container. Close your eyes if that feels good and safe for you to do so. And take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhaling, releasing all your to dos and worries for the day just so you could be present. Another deep breath in through the nose and releasing all the tension. One more big breath of gratitude for this moment and this day and release. Just taking a moment here to ask for the support and love and guidance and creating a safe container and energetic bubble for us and our guests today from all our loving guides and those who wish to witness and be a part of this healing and unfolding today. Thank you for this moment and connection and opportunity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All
I like
right.
that.
We're so excited. We've been anticipating this conversation
Yay!
for so
Me too.
long. Please introduce yourself. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, thank you. So I am Zania. Mostly everyone calls me Z in my life. I kind of, that came about when I was working when I started working in entertainment, the entertainment industry. It was just easier for people to say, "Hey, Z." And
Mhm.
my last name is Zamarripa, so it's Zania so it's just call me Z or ZZ, whatever. So
Cute.
yeah. But yeah, I am born and raised in LA and currently living in Burbank now, the suburbs of LA. But yeah, I've never lived anywhere else, so this is home. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and just a kind of, I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah.
I'm a Scorpio sun, Aquarius moon, and a Virgo rising. I encapsulate I that's how actually helped me really kinda also find out who I am too. I'm like, "Oh, this is why I'm like this." Like,
My
kind of
daughter is also a Scorpio sun, Aquarius moon.
Ooh, nice.
So I
It's
love
so
that.
it's like it's very, what would you call it's like
Fucking
they're very
cool.
opposite,
Fucking
but they're
cool.
fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, like, a Scorpio meaning, I had a quite the week at work where I was just I care so much sometimes, like, I care
Mhm.
so much where it's like, "Why do you care so much about every little tiny detail?" and things like
Mhm.
that, and it kinda just went into I I did some reading and I was like, "What let me see." So it all kinda made sense. Aquarius wants to rebel and they want to
Mm.
lead the change and they're the for the
Mhm.
people and but we're a Scorpio is very we're determined and we want things to, we're insistent and things go our way and
And
then
that
a little
Virgo wants
sensitive.
that
Yeah.
detail.
God. I'm like, it's like all these yes, it's like these it's I call it's a good balance, I think also, but I'm
Yeah.
like it's sometimes I'm just like, "Oh god, I can't even handle myself." I'm like, I don't even I'm too much for myself sometimes, you know?
I feel
So,
that.
I mean, and I guess that can go back into, we can go start with my childhood,
Yeah, I would love to start from the very
Yeah.
beginning.
yeah, where it all began. I was raised by a single mom. I have a sister that's 10 years older than me, so kind of an only kid too.
Wow, that's a big age gap.
That is yeah, we have different dads. My dad actually raised her. My dad ended up taking off when I was about 3, or
Dang.
my mom actually left him when I was about 3 or 4, I wanna say. So I have no memory of him whatsoever.
Wow.
Yeah, basically, his sister told my mom that it was time to leave him because he was an abuser and a drug dealer,
Mm.
a con man. He was everything and a musician, which I'm like, "Oh, great," because I married one. Anyway, that doesn't has nothing to do with that.
I'm like, I don't date musicians anymore.
I ended up marrying one. I mean, I
So
dated
she.
them and then I stopped
Me
and
too.
then yeah, and then I ended up marrying one. Anyway, we can get into that later. Long story short, my mom, like many other moms, it's a lot of generational trauma and
Yeah.
she didn't really know how she experienced a lot of abuse in her childhood and she did get raised by my grandpa who was her stepdad, but I call him my grandpa, but he used to fight with my grandma and at the bars and drinking and beating each other up, but they loved each other. It's just this weird fucking toxic, like, I don't know. It's just, but they created a roofing company in LA and they had a business and, he took on a woman with 4 children, from a different man. And so my mom, she actually had parents, like 2 parents and had a safety net and had security in a sense where I didn't
Mhm.
experience that, where the
Yeah.
only time I really did experience that was when my grandparents were alive and,
Mm.
we lived with them. We lived in apartment buildings, I grew up in apartments
Mhm.
and my
Mhm.
grandma's house. I had never lived in a house until now, so this is my
Mhm.
first time living in a house,
Wow.
a washer and dryer, it's
Yep.
just I lived that apartment life forever, and then if not it we and if for a moment when I was in school, like in middle school, we were living in a camper outside my grandparents' house, in
Mhm.
Montebello, and that was fun, 'cause you get kids laughing, they don't know why you live
Yeah.
in there, and
Yeah,
it
totally.
I'm like, "Well, we don't have a house, we don't have an apartment, so we live with grandma and grandpa, and so, yeah, I grew up very, my mom is a Sagittarius, so I've
Mhm.
come to peace with a lot of stuff, but there was a lot of, I was the parent. I was a
Yeah.
parent at a very young age. It was, helping like I was experiencing it's like what you call what is it? Like I was parentified at a really young age and hearing things that I shouldn't have as a
Yeah.
child. Like I became her friend or like
Yeah.
almost her protector because she did have an alcohol abuse problem.
Mhm.
And so like I was always taking care of her, at like 7 years old, 6 years old. I was the one kind of keeping her in line and telling her not to drink and drive, but she'd be doing it anyway,
Mm.
and it's just things like that. So it was just a very chaotic and there was no structure and that's why all of this really my life really just came from me. No one was pushing me. I didn't have support. I just knew what I didn't want. That's kind of
Yeah.
where I knew what I didn't want to be. And I love her. Listen, I wouldn't trade her in,
Course. Yeah.
you know. But up until when I got into my 40s, I think I started getting a little bit more triggered because I thought I had forgiven a lot of things, but things
Mm.
would come up and like a
Mhm.
lot, especially through my healing journey over the last 5 years, I've realized the animosity started growing and my sister already kind of had it, and I can see why she did because she experienced a different a
Yeah.
different life
Yeah.
too.
Because she's also
So
probably kind of raising you and her in some ways too,
yeah,
I'd
for a little
imagine.
bit.
Yeah.
Exactly, until she
Yeah.
left as a teenager because she had no
Exactly.
choice. She had no choice
Exactly.
and,
Yeah, what was
you
your
know,
relationship like with your sister? Or how is it now?
we're both Scorpios, so we're very much we are down for each other and then sometimes we just don't talk. And there's no
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's no reason. It's not that we're mad at each other or we can go a long time.
same.
But we'll check in and it's just like no one's allowed to ever talk bad about her. Like just like my mom, no one's allowed to talk bad
Mhm.
about them. If I talk bad
Mhm.
about them, that's okay, but no one else
Yes.
is.
Yes,
Like I'm not going to take
absolutely.
any side and I'll always take their side and but me and my sister, it's like she was a young she had her kiddos pretty young. I mean, I don't know if she's gonna get I hope she doesn't get mad at me talking about this, but not young. I mean, 21, I guess, is like
Yeah.
normal for some people.
Yeah.
But for compared to me, in comparison to me, I didn't have my kid till I was 35. So in
Mhm.
comparison to myself, we just had
Yeah,
different lives. And
same.
but
Mhm.
my sister took me along with her. We went to the bars and out on the Sunset Strip and stuff like that, and it was fun. It's like we were 10 years apart, but we really weren't in a sense
Mhm.
because I had to grow up so fast. She had to grow up fast. And, maybe along the line there was some kind of animosity towards her because I felt that she left me, but we talked
Yeah.
it out. She's going through healing and she does so well for herself. And, she's got 2 kids and it's just, and they're older now. But it's just, she did the best she could too. I think
Yeah.
for all of us, right? Like, it's like at the end of
Yeah.
the day, we're doing the best we can with what we have.
Exactly.
Uh,
What you were
I
shown.
think yeah, so I feel like I don't blame her for leaving because she had no choice, and I learned a lot from her too,
Mhm.
and it's just but we have different experiences. We have the
Yeah.
same experience, lived experience, but we don't. It's very strange. I don't know how to really explain that, and I'm still, like,
No, I feel that.
searching. Yeah, like, you're, like, you raised by the same mom. But, like, we're different personalities, obviously, because I was more like, "I need to take care of my mom." Like, "Someone's gotta take
Yeah.
care of who's taking care of this lady?"
Yeah.
So that was really me, whereas my sister was like, "I'm out."
Yeah.
And I could respect that. Like, I
Totally.
respect that because she had boundaries and she knew she's like, "I can't deal with this." She had to live her life and she had her children. And for me, like, I lived with my mom for, like, maybe until I was, like, 18 or 19, and then we got evicted from the apartment we were at, and we ended up being home I was homeless as a kid, we had an apartment that went up in flames, and we were living in
Wow.
hotels, and it's just, like, experiencing stuff like that at such a young age. It is traumatizing, and
Yeah.
I try not to, like, dwell on it anymore, like, think
Mhm.
that that defines me, but
Mhm.
it shaped me. It helped shape me, and this is why I there's nothing that I won't do to help make sure that my son has a very safe, peaceful home, with electricity and food. Not that there was that wasn't never the issue, but there was times where we didn't have electricity or gas,
Mhm.
and we'd have to put, shit on the stove, things like that, to like, wash our clothes or things like that. So it's
Yeah.
like I've experienced some shit. And so, I think for me, a lot of the escape was music and movies and
Mhm.
things like that. So it's like I found a solace in listening to music and growing up in the 90s and in all the grunge era and
Yes.
then, like, The Doors, and
So
The Doors
good.
were, like, my, like, gate like, Jim Morrison was, like, everything. So it's, like, funny how, like, everyone's, like, just like, it's, like, that was just, like, fashion and, like, how, like, like, the
Mhm.
style of, like, 70s and 60s and things like anyway, so it's, like,
Mhm. Same.
I ended up yeah, like, it's just one of those things where, like, experienced all this shit. I grew up fast, so I ended up hanging out with people that were older all the time because
Mhm.
it wasn't an issue for me,
Yeah.
or dating people that were a lot older than me
Mhm.
at a very young age, and it was just one of those things where, well, this is I guess I'm meant for this because I didn't think otherwise, and then when I see kids nowadays, I'm like, "Oh my god, you're
Yeah.
13." At 13, I was, like, at a bar and at the Sunset on the Sunset Strip.
Oh,
It's like things like that where I'm like and I would never let my son experience that.
No.
But
yeah.
my mom, she was doing the best she could. I don't blame her for that. But it's also
It was
there was no
different
structure.
times too, like, no one would allow that now, but back then, everybody kinda was like, "Whatever."
Yeah, right? There were no cell phones. There was no,
Yeah, it was a
like
Yeah.
little more loose for
yes,
everyone.
all yeah, and then, like, hitchhiking, things like that, going with
Mm.
strangers. I don't know. Like, I'll
Mhm.
figure it out. It was always and I guess because I had a friend tell me once 'cause I got a little crazy in my 20s, like a lot of us do, but I think it was because
Mhm.
I was working in the entertainment industry. I was experiencing that whole life of, like, going out and doing, Tuesday or, you're at a party over here at the Roosevelt or things like that. All these things were happening, the hotel in Hollywood, and, like, I remember, like, I blacked out once, and I told a friend, and then she was just like, "Z," she's like, "I never, like, judge you because you never like, I was in my late 20s, like, and she's like, "You never experienced you always had to be the adult." So I've
Yeah.
always had to be the adult, and when you're always
Yeah.
the adult, at some point, that shit's gonna bust open, and you're like,
Yep.
"I'm gonna fucking
You gotta
be
be
unhinged,"
wild.
and yeah, and so it kind of and it happened, and it happened that's kind of I went through I was like this chaos that I was managing, but I really wanted to make something of myself. And I didn't really know what that was, but I knew I wanted to work in entertainment. I went to City College, I did like a TV production thing. I was like, I'm gonna work in TV. And then I ended up working in TV. So it like manifested for me. I knew no one. I knew no one in that
Wow.
industry. And I went and I was like, I'll work for free. So I worked for free and worked 2 jobs and went to school, living on friends' couches. This was like in my early 20s. And because I was
Mhm.
just like, I want to do this, and I ended up working there for like 11 years. I worked at Jimmy Kimmel for like 11 years of
Amazing.
my life, and so
That's a long
I don't know, it's just
time
like
too in that.
yeah, exactly, like, so, things like that, it's like and I remember I just wanted to do really well, but then I'm my own, like, we just self-sabotage.
Of
I was really
course.
good at self-sabotaging, right?
Mhm.
Because that's something that you can control, and that's what they say, you can control yourself, the outcome, you know?
I think that took me until becoming a mother to stop doing that. I was literally just always torturing myself
Yeah,
because I don't know.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like, why? You don't want that. Stop doing that.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
You're ta
Anyway, sorry, I'm bouncing around here, but back to, like, my childhood, I think it was after reflecting and going into, just doing this healing journey that I've been on for a while, I look back and I'm like, I see my mom as a person, and she was a
Mhm.
woman that experienced a lot of abuse,
Yeah.
in her childhood and then also as an adult with men, and my dad wasn't a good person, and it was just like this cycle, and,
Mhm.
and I experienced that before I met my husband. I was it was like validation, external
Yeah.
Mhm.
validation, and looking for trying to land that one person. The ones that didn't want me, I wanted them so bad, right?
Of
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if
course.
that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, And it's funny though, because looking back at all that, God, my brain's all over. Like I look back at what my mom went through and then how I grew up, and I'm just like, it's so funny because it's like, did I see myself getting married? Maybe, not really. It wasn't really I wanted it, but I didn't. I always knew I wanted a
Mhm.
boy. I always wanted a son, and I got my son. So that happened. But then I was also when I reached my mid-30s, I was like, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen at this point."
Mhm.
So, I don't know, like, just going back to, like, seeing my mom, I just didn't have I didn't grow up with, like, going on vacations. I didn't grow up what people do, what kids do, and I didn't go to
Mhm.
ca I went to, like, an after-school camp once in a while, but I wasn't in sports. I didn't do
Mhm.
things like that because we that wasn't really the priority. It was like, "Meh, go to school and then that's it, and get a
Yeah.
job when you
What
Well,
is
all
your
graduate
that
high."
shit
mom
costs extra money
Yeah.
too.
What was your mom doing for work?
She worked in, she actually had she was she was functioning. She did, like, accounting, and she just worked in, like, hospitals and corporations, like, doing
Mhm.
accounting, She's a smart woman, and but she allowed shit to take over. She was numbing, and that's why I'm reading, like, Dr. Gabor Mate about how addiction it's like we're just it's constantly, like, just you're just covering up what's real the root of really
Yep.
what it
Yeah.
was, and
Absolutely.
unfortunately, no one ever told her to, like, go get help or go see a therapist. I mean, she went into rehab and she went into a couple homes when I was younger, and I remember her being in a hospital, like, in an because she got in an accident or she, beat up her husband, the second husband, things like that. So it's just like all these things, but she still never got therapy. And even to this day, I still get on her where I've given up though, because I'm like, you can't change people that don't want to be
No,
changed
they have
or
to
get
choose
help.
it.
I was like, please, I think therapy would be really good for you. Like, you're in your 70s, like, you still, like, 70s is still young, like, you can still do
Mhm.
things. And so, I think we talked about in our last pod, it's like, I'm such a cheerleader for people because I want them to see how great they are.
Yeah.
Maybe that and the thing is like, I've had a couple people in my life tell me that I'm pretty awesome. Not a lot, but, I think it took me to just realize I'm fucking great, man. Like, I'm just like, "What? Like, why
Yeah.
are you not
Sure.
Nia?" Like, but it's like it took a long time, right? And, like, I had such
Mhm.
not self-hate, but I didn't think I was worthy a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think could sit at those tables where those, other people from, you know, different social, ladders, I
But
didn't
you
think I
put yourself
belonged.
there anyways.
I did. I did.
Even if you didn't feel it, you still showed up to those tables and probably with confidence, even if you didn't feel that inside. Fake confidence, I guess.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of delusion, right? Like, it's, like,
We love
Mhm.
it.
delulu, and it was because also I was like, "No, I belong here. I
Yeah.
belong in these spaces," and
And you
I
wanted
don't
a better
know.
life for yourself.
Yeah, totally, and I think and it's funny because people they're asking me, they're like, "Are you a musician or are you an artist?" I was like, I'm not. I'm neither of those, but I'm just me, and, like, I don't know how that I guess, like, my whole personality, like, when I go hard on things that I really
Mhm.
like, I love spirituality, I love astrology, and I love, learning and music, I feel like music is, like, my savior, really, like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's why I attracted so many musicians my whole life, but then there was a couple, like there was some people in there that weren't, but they were still creative writers and stuff like
Yeah.
that, but I've always been a magnet for those kind of things.
I feel that. I think I relate a lot with that personally.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
how old were you and, like, when did you meet your husband?
So I met him in my late teens, and he was playing at Kimmel. He used to play with Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots, and he's always been in the music industry and his whole life. That's all he knows. Anyway, and then I met him about my late 20s, and then we hooked up a couple times when he was in LA. I was like, "Okay, I'll hang out. Let's hook up, whatever." And then, finally, we ended up I went to a show in 20 the end of t I wanna say the beginning of 2014, and then we just been together ever since.
Cute.
So,
Amazing.
yeah, and then we got married about 8 years ago. In a couple weeks, it'll be 8 years. We had our son.
Congrats.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool, marriage isn't easy and
No, it's
yeah,
not.
and especially we can be very, we're both we come from some type he has a similar situation, not to the extreme of mine, but,
Mhm.
we're different but the same, and sometimes
Yeah.
that could create clashing, and he's a Leo and I'm
Yeah.
a Scorpio, and we're like
Oh god.
Boiling
yeah,
hot water.
like, we're not supposed like, every astrology book's like, "You're not supposed to be together." But we're like, "Fuck you, we're gonna do it anyway." So,
No, I love that. I had something to say about it, but so you keep talking about, like, your healing journey and how that's
yeah.
been, like, 5 years. Is there something that sparked that? Or are you just kind of with the collective of, like, COVID changed everyone and we all started that?
Huge for me. That was probably it, but also the fact that I had really bad, postpartum depression.
Yeah.
Mm,
How old's your
mhm.
son? I'm sorry, I forgot.
He's 7.
Okay,
So he's 7, and I think I experienced postpartum depression for maybe 2 years, I wanna say,
Mhm.
because I was alright I've always had some sort of chemical imbalance,
same.
and they can therapists have said, "Oh, you should do EMDR, you should do, like, different things," and right away, I went through a lot of medications for depression and
Mhm.
anxiety, different types throughout my 20s, 30s, and once I had my son, I fell into this deep depression. Never want like, I want no never weird, like, I wanted to hurt him or anything, it was more me. I was like, "I'm not good
Mhm.
enough, he would be better off without me,"
Yeah.
and this
Mhm.
is why postpartum depression is really like, I think people should talk about it more. I know
Yeah.
it's getting out there, it's getting a little bit more, visibility in the world, and, like,
More
we're not
people
scared to
than not are going through that, and everyone's
Mhm.
acting like they're fucking normal when most women feel that way, in America at least.
Do you think that's, like, part of, like, in that depressive state and feeling that, like, there's also that fear of being judged, like, at
I
all?
think so,
Like,
probably.
cause saying that out
Yeah.
loud to somebody, they might
You don't want people to think you're a bad mom.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Right.
you're already, like, it's just piled up on yourself already, beating yourself up for all those things to even get to that thought, and then
I
Yeah.
thinking that
also
other people are gonna just agree with you, and
yeah.
then it's all gonna, crumble.
Yeah, and you saying, like, for 2 years, I think people think, like, "Oh, your baby's almost 2, like, you're not postpartum, your baby's almost 2," and I'm like, "My baby is only 21 months right now," and it's like, I still feel those
Yeah.
things, and I feel like
Whoa.
stop giving people grace after their kid's, like, a year old because 'cause you're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you're not postpartum anymore," and I'm like, "I don't even know if my organs are
Right.
back in the same place that they were before, like,
Yeah.
give me a break
Yeah.
for,
I think
like,
that takes at
a
least
little
2
while."
years.
Absolutely, and I actually had to have a, C-section, not
Same.
emergency, but it was
Same.
oh, you did too? Yeah, so,
I
Mhm.
like,
was supposed to
I
have a
stopped
home
dilating.
birth, yeah, and I
Oh, wow.
ended up transferring to the hospital, and after 3 days of being in labor, had to have a C-section,
Yes.
so it's like, that's also really fucking
Mhm.
traumatizing.
Oh my god,
I'm
right?
still
Mhm.
And so I
not
went
over
to
it, yeah.
no, it's traumatizing, and it's like something because especially, like, I don't know if it's because I was older, but I think anybody can experience that because I stopped dilating at 7 centimeters, and then I was getting
Oh my god.
sick, like, deathly ill, like,
Ugh.
my sister was like, "You look like the exorcist because you were vomiting, like,
Ugh.
projectiling." I was
Mhm.
hot fever, and then they're like, "The baby's getting sick, so we're gonna have to get him out," you know? It was like one of those
Wow.
things, so I was like, "Well, do whatever it takes." I
Yep.
told my husband, I was like, "If anything happens, save him." Like, that was, like,
Yeah.
my thing. I was like, "I don't care." Like, I've never been afraid of that. Death doesn't scare me, for me. That's why I was like, I'm not I was like, like, I started thinking that way, and because it was so fucking horrific, traumatized. Thankfully, he was okay, but he did swallow meconium, they put him in the NICU, so I thought something was bad. We went through
Man.
those, like, labor shakes. Did you get the shakes?
Yeah.
When you, like,
Yeah.
shake and, like
So cold,
yeah,
but, like, not.
cold and
Yeah.
shaking, I couldn't stop, like, shaking, and it was just terrible, and I had a
Mhm.
great pregnancy. My pregnancy was wonderful. I barely got sick. That's why I was like, "This is gonna be a breeze. I'm good. We're gonna breastfeed, blah, blah, blah," and, he was 2 weeks early, and, he just wanted to make an appearance. Anyway, so it's just so that I really felt
Were
some
you
type of
able to
way.
breastfeed?
I did for about 6 months, I wanna say, until I went back to work. But, at first it was hard and I didn't really like it. He wouldn't
Yeah.
latch right away, and then when I was there, I felt like, "Is he eating?" I had this
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
thing that he wasn't eating enough. I'm like, "He's not eating," so I did, like, bottle feed. Anyway, so all these things I was over trying to and I didn't even take him outside for, like, a month or 2. Like, I took him out in the
Mhm.
yard, but I wouldn't take him anywhere. Like, that's how
Mhm.
crazy I was. I was afraid something was
They
gonna
also
happen to
say
him.
kinda not to do that, so I think that's okay. Yeah. Like,
Right?
nowadays,
I
like,
see
in
some yeah, some people do.
Ayurveda and, like, Chinese medicine, like, you're not even supposed to leave your house for a month, so I think in America, we, like, tell women, like, "Okay,
Gotta
back
get
to
back
it,"
to it.
and it's like, that's not what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be home, we're supposed to be nurturing, we're supposed to be gentle with ourselves and our babies, like, you don't
Mhm.
need to be at fucking Target 4 days after you have a baby. That's not normal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so I think that was I just didn't think I was doing it right.
right.
And,
Yeah.
I
and
feel
me and
that
my husband,
every day.
like I'm like, "I'm not doing this right, I don't know what I'm doing," and me and my husband, like, I felt some type of way with him because I felt that I wasn't getting the care that I needed
Mm,
from him and the support that I really wanted and I yearned for from my
yeah.
husband, and I think he was but the thing is I have to give him grace because he
Yeah.
didn't really know what to do either,
He doesn't
and
Yeah.
wanna
he's
fuck
doing the
it
best
up
he's
too.
can. Exactly, and so looking back at that, wow, that was a good that just was a download right now. I gave him a little yeah, it's true. I had to give him grace and some space to really just try to he's a great dad, and so it started from then, it started from him, like, just cooking meals for me and, like, giving me
Yeah.
spinach drinks when I was pregnant, like, and so, I'm very thankful for that, especially my track with my father, not there. So it's just
Yeah.
like I'm so grateful that
So
God,
important.
universe, spirit,
Yeah.
whoever is running this
Yeah.
gave me this person to have a child with
Yeah.
Mm,
because we have our issues and sometimes really bad issues. And but no matter what, that boy is like our that's we will do anything possible to make it good for him this
mm,
life. So, but yeah, the postpartum was unlike anything that I think people, yeah, I didn't really have anybody. I felt like I lost friends, and that was another thing. Am I now?
yeah. Identity
Like
change.
all women. Yeah,
Yeah.
like all women that go through child having children. And it's funny though, because some women that I've seen, they're like, they just bounce right back. And I'm like,
I
"You
don't
don't have
believe
mental
that,
health,
though.
do you?" They really do. I think some people are just meant to breed, I think, and I don't think I am.
I'm not, no.
And
I did it, I get it, I understand the assignment. I
yes.
have, like, done this
Oh my
part
god, I
of,
love that.
motherhood, but I don't need to keep doing it to understand more.
And some people are really great at it, and I look at them, I'm like, "Wow, you're just back at it, and you
Yeah,
look
I do
great
have a
and this and
friend
that,"
like
and
that. Her body looks the
I know
same.
people
She just acts normal, takes care of her farm
I
animals and her
I'm like,
other
"You're okay?"
children.
Yeah. Yes,
It's
and
been
it's
2
just
years, I'm like, "Ugh."
yeah, no, I get it, and so but see, that's the thing, I think that there's something to be said about our chemistry, our brain, like, just physiology.
Yeah.
Some people are just meant to be breeders, and I know
Yeah.
that sounds terrible,
It doesn't.
not breed in the sense where, like, they're just meant to be it's not that we're not you and I aren't meant to be moms, I just think there's something else that, like, I don't know, like, we for the greater good, maybe we're supposed to be doing other like, we have our child, and then we do I don't know
Yeah.
if you plan to have any more, but I do
Nope.
not, and
No.
I'm too old, first off, but yeah, see, it's like you just know, and that's why the whole one child stigma, I think there is sometimes because I was feeling it, I don't know if people are like, "You can have
People
another
are,
one?"
like, kinda mean about it, and, like, I don't need your
Oh, we can have a
opinion.
whole other show on that. Yeah.
I have
That
clients
could be
that
a
are
whole
like
other subject.
some old ladies are like, "Well, it's not for you, it's for her," and I'm like,
Ugh.
I'm not like, yeah, I'm her mom, I'll do anything for her, but
You're
not
also
that."
trying to give her the best possible life, and in
Yeah.
our fucking day and age,
Yeah.
it seems impossible to have
Yeah.
multiple children and to, like,
And it's
give them a
normal
good life
nowadays. It was
too.
not normal whenever I was young. I knew one only
Yeah,
child,
there
and
weren't
that
as
was
many.
it. But now
Wow,
it's
okay.
like everybody has one kid, and that's totally fine.
I don't
I
even
love
think,
it.
like, I ever realized until I was in high school that, like, not having kids was an option, let alone, like, having just one. It's like, if you're gonna have children like, I am
You
one
have
of
to have 2 or 3.
7, like, divorced family, but, like, there's so many siblings, and, like, my mom is, like, also a lot, 4, 6, 1 of
Yeah.
6 too, and, like, like,
Wow.
just big families
Yeah.
all around, and, like, all my friends have lots of siblings, but, like, I didn't know anybody who didn't have kids growing up. Like, I met my first, like, woman, I think I was right before sophomore year, I met this, like, couple. She was in her late 20s, and I was like, "Oh, are you guys gonna have kids? Because that's just a curiosity." And she's like, "No, we don't plan to." And I was like, "Oh, that's an option."
I remember looking around being like, "Fuck all these kids, I'm never doing this," when I was, like, 10. I'm like, "No, that looks dumb, that looks hard.
Yep.
I just wanna hang out and vibe, like, I'm not
Yes.
doing it."
Well,
Yes.
and then the struggle
Absolutely.
too of, like, being raised in struggle and, like,
Exactly.
Huh?
choosing, like, I don't want this life for myself, like, I can choose something different here, at least not having kids when I turn 18, like everyone else in
Mhm.
my family has,
Yeah,
so
totally.
Right. No, totally, and it's and especially yeah, like, I pretty much all my friends have siblings, and my cousin, actually, she's an one only child, and that's why me and her grew up together for the most part, when we
Yeah.
were younger, and it's just we talked about that, about her being an only child, but she didn't feel like an only child because she had me around,
yeah,
we were
exactly.
similar
You find
age,
your
and so
family,
yeah,
your
and
siblings.
exactly,
I
and
guess, like,
I don't
where
know.
I'm at with it right now is I wanna make sure that, like, I by the time she's older, that I've set her up enough that she doesn't feel like the burden of Curtis and I is on her alone, because, like, a
100%.
lot of the times, if you don't have a sibling and then your parents are old and sick, like, it's all on you, and so just making
Mhm,
sure that when we are older, she has the resources to not have to
mhm.
struggle to care for us, I guess, is, like, my
Absolutely, and
main
that's
concern with an only child.
yes. Creating that I think generational wealth is I don't
I'm
know it,
working my
but
ass off for
I'm
it.
working for it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly, and it's like my child will always be okay. Like, and teaching him a work ethic. Because listen, just because you're gonna be okay and other you need to work and you need to know
Yes.
that
Yeah.
with you know, obviously what you wanna do, that's a big thing. I'm like, "That's why you gotta stay
Mhm.
in school and you gotta" I'm big on school for him because I didn't have that. No,
Yeah.
that wasn't a thing. I was like,
Mhm.
Is your
yeah,
mom
so, like
still around?
she is, yeah, she actually and it's funny because I was gonna get to that point, like, she helps take care of my son. Like, she became this whole other she's sober, she's been sober for almost 20 years, 15, 20
Wow,
years?
that's
15 years,
amazing.
maybe? Yeah, and so it's like she's changed it around. There's still some things where I think she could really benefit from therapy and stuff like that, and, like, a lot.
Again, what's the root cause of
Yeah, the
needing
cause, and
yeah.
then also I think a lot of she's always, it I think guilt. Yeah, I think that's a maybe yeah,
Is she
absolutely, and I think
religious or spiritual?
she used to be, and that's kinda took a hand in her getting sober was that she had nowhere else to go, that she turned to a church, and they took her in because they had, like, these men and women's homes that were, like, rehabilitation homes where you would
Mm.
get sober, and it actually helped, and I will
Uh-huh.
say that it kind of I never really grew up religious at all. She did. She grew up Catholic. I didn't grow up anyway like
Mhm.
that. I believed in a God. I believed in someone. I didn't know what it
Mhm.
Yeah.
was. Probably still don't, but I know it's something
Yeah,
bigger than me,
same.
and but the thing is I always had faith, and I always spoke to something, and,
Yeah.
whether it's praying or talking, I was like, I just angels, really, I always felt like I had
Mhm.
angels around me, and, I think that's what's kept me fucking alive this whole time
Yeah.
with with my track record, the shit that I've found myself in and yeah, it's not the best situations, and, but yeah, so yeah, she became religious a little bit, and then she's a little bit more spiritual now. She kinda especially after the whole everything that's been happening with the Christianity conservative shit,
You could, like, taunt
Okay.
we
her and be like, "If you don't fix your stuff in this lifetime, you're gonna have to redo it, so you better do therapy now,
Yeah,
or else you're gonna have to come back."
yeah, exactly. So but that's the thing, she's kind of denounced that too, like, she doesn't really know either, like, she saw what the Christian
What they're
Mhm.
whatever it
doing.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's like, "I don't like that." So she's
No.
not like that, thank God, because
Yeah,
then we've
that's
probably wouldn't
very
talk.
lucky because I think too, like,
Yeah,
when people are healing and in recovery, like, AA is very much built around, like, kinda Christian belief and lifestyle. It can just be the thing that saves you and keeps you grounded and, you know, sober. And
my mom, she did the Christian route. I think it's still in there, but it's not as, it's not religion. So, like, I identify with that a little bit too, because there's
Mhm.
some Buddhism, there's some Christianity, there's some, there's different things that I like to implement in my own spirituality,
Yeah.
but it's not religious. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
like, I do not subscribe to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not organized, like,
No.
like
Mhm.
revolving around a man. Like, we're definitely not doing that.
Yeah.
No. Um,
No.
yeah, anyhow.
Yeah,
So
we're big on, like, finding, like taking what resonates and kind of
Yeah.
just building your own form of spirituality, like, let it be eclectic,
exactly.
like, all of these things exist in the world, and it's kind of like this buffet that you can create and, choose what's right for
I agree.
Yeah.
you.
I also think being okay with, like, and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Having faith in something, but never, like, blindly believing one thing
100%.
and always being open to, like, "Oh, that might be wrong, and I can change
Yeah.
Mhm.
later."
Yeah, I always say that, like,
Yes.
who am I to say what's right or wrong? And right now, like, in my body, when I hear this statement or this belief system or whatever, I'm like, "Yeah, I believe
Mhm.
that." Like, I could see that being a thing. But
Yep.
yeah, not subscribing or being so stuck
Rigid.
in those belief
Mhm.
systems because we can change and grow, and as we grow and evolve, like, you know, we change. Our beliefs change based on our
Yep.
experiences. Yeah, I don't ever
Exactly.
get being so like, "This is the truth, the only truth, and
So
everyone
weird,
else is
right?
going to hell." It's so
It's
fucking
weird.
Like,
weird.
imagine just, like, going around telling people, like, "You're going to hell." Like, who the
Yeah.
fuck are you
How
to
do you
say
even
anything?
believe that God actually is like that? That's just so crazy to me.
Exactly.
Like, the God that
Exactly.
I was taught about, that's not how I was ever God's not he loves all God's children, right? Like, it's not like you can fuck off and you can fuck off, but, and then there's some religions too where it's like no matter how fucking good you are and how much you play by the book, you may still not be accepted into the kingdom of heaven, which is crazy too, that it's like you
Still
can
not
do
good
all the
enough.
right
Yeah.
things, and you might still not get to live in that mansion. What? Like, how do we believe this?
Yeah. Totally, and that's, going back to, like, the with my healing journey that we were, kind like, when I back in 2020, it's about 5
Mm.
years. I think that because it was the postpartum depression, and then it rolled
Yeah.
into, like, just different beliefs, and I started, like, really like, something was calling me, like, "Just get back to basics, get back to
Mm.
nature." Like,
Mhm.
it was almost like ancestral, like, my
Mm.
ancestors were like, "We're calling you, now you need to really, like." Because I had that dark night of the soul. Like,
Yeah.
it was bad, it was really bad, and I'm so glad that my son was small still, that he didn't really see that part of me because I tried to hide it and I tried to wait till he was asleep or, this
Yeah.
and that. I'm like, because you can't, it's like being hungover with the kid. Like you can be hungover, but you're still gonna show up for your kid. Like you still
Mhm.
have to go on those play dates. You still have to do these, it's like, so if you're in a depression or if you're going through something, you still have to put on that face, but
Mhm.
I did have a therapist tell me, she's like, "He can see you upset. Like, it's okay for
Yeah.
your child to see you as a human being
Yeah, I
and
think that's
not a
important.
fucking robot." And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's how I live, that's how I choose to raise my son is like, no, things aren't always good and things aren't always nice and people aren't always good people and there's mean people in the world, and all you can
And
do is
mom
control
has
yourself.
emotions.
Mom has emotion and I've gotten into it and I'm like, "I'm sorry," and I'm sorry I snapped or if I came off kind of mean and it's because I'm overstimulated and he doesn't know what that
Mhm.
means yet, but
Mhm.
it's funny because 'cause he'll say, "I have anxiety." He'll hear me say, I'm like, "Oh my god, now he's saying it." And I was like, "What do you have anxiety about? You're 7. You literally go to school and color and do things that are fun." Anyway, but, it's with the back to the spirituality, I think I really went deep into it, and a lot of it was, like, through I've like I discovered, like, Abraham Hicks, the
Mhm.
Wayne Dyer. I started going into that, and I was like and I remember reading the 4 Agreements years ago, like, in my 20s, and I read it again, and The Power of Now, which I'm sure you
Mhm.
like the Eckhart Tolle,
Mhm.
yeah. So, like, I started reading those, and I picked it up, and I was like, "This hits differently than I did in
Yeah.
my than it did in my 20s." And so I just sort of like that it went that route. I just went off. It catapulted me. And then also with, working with candles and magic and realizing like, are you a witch, Zania? I don't know. What am I? So I just kind of really, but a lot of it was I started seeing signs and like symbols and numbers and
Yeah.
things were starting to come up and I started to really let it happen instead of like, it's just a coincidence. So I don't believe in coincidences. That's not even a word that I use ever.
Synchronicities, baby.
Synchronicity, exactly, and I things were happening. I had lost a job at Disney. I worked at Disney after Kimmel. So that was something too. I always so used to identifying my personality with my work and
Yeah.
perfectionist and, that's not I'm work and work and work, and then
Mhm.
when COVID hit, that's when I lost the job because they laid off everybody, really.
Yeah.
So that was another thing. And then I found out that happened, and then I found out my dad died.
Wow.
And through ancestry.com, I went and talked
Wow.
to a cousin. She caught yeah, she's like,
Wow.
Zania, we've been looking for you and this and that." And I was like, "I'm not
Jeez.
hard to find, first off. Zania Zamarripa, there's not a lot of us." Anyway,
Uh-huh.
there's this thing called the internet. And so, I was just like so that took me I kind of fell into a weird for about a week, I
Mhm.
got really weird, but I talked out loud to him and I forgave him because I didn't want him to feel like, I kinda gave him grace finally, and it
Yeah.
forgave even though I didn't, because I he was a troubled soul. His
Mhm.
parents weren't really the best, and he was a kind of a bad dude, but there was a reason for that, and
Mhm.
I had to see that, and I had to, like, just accept that, and I don't hate him, and I will talk about what I know of him to my son.
Mhm.
We had, like, when every Dia de los Muertos, I put him up on the altar. And, because I'm just like, "You know what? We didn't know each other in this."
Mhm.
I literally saw him when I was 11. That was the last time I saw him. First and
Wow.
last time that I ever seen him. He gave me a T-shirt and a bed, and that was it, and I think 40
Wow.
bucks, and,
Great.
that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he tried calling me. I had to call him on the payphone a little bit after that, and then I just because I saw the way my mom got with him, and it was
Mm.
weird seeing them together. These are from the memories that I can remember. I don't have a lot that's another thing, I don't have a lot of memories of my childhood.
Yeah.
I think that trauma because
Yeah, exactly.
your itself, and so I don't I get flashbacks, here and there,
Mhm.
Did you
but
didn't, like, ever find out having, like, other siblings or anything from
I actually
him?
do. Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I have a brother that's 10 years older than me as well. He's my sister's age, but, believe my sister had looked him up. Her and her boyfriend looked him up when we found out about my dad, and I believe he's in jail somewhere. So
gosh.
I will not be going down that path.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Totally
We're
okay.
good. So, yeah, and it also allowed me to really it was cool me connecting with my cousin on his side. Her mom died, so all the siblings died. His brother threw himself in front of a train. He was a schizophrenic. Like,
Goodness.
a couple months after he died, my dad
Wow.
died. My dad died in a homeless shelter.
Mm.
He died in a homeless shelter in Bakersfield or Ventura, I'm not sure. But when you hear things like that, that doesn't feel so good because
No.
it
No.
also like, one more reason why I'm just, like, hard worker, this and that. I was like, I just I would never I wouldn't even know how to process or, like, imagine putting my child through that.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah.
So, like, but, just, like, clearly, I didn't come from a privileged life. So,
Mhm.
but, like, knowing that, like, he didn't even try to better himself makes me a little
Mhm.
sad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, so that was really hearing all this during when I was going through already a dark
Gosh.
night of the soul, as you can imagine, but it also, like, that's what they say, like, it all crumbles around you,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
then
Gotta have
just,
that
like,
tower moment.
rebirth. Yes, it's a rebirth, and being a Scorpio,
Huh.
it's like constant death and rebirth. Yeah, and I'm like, I guess this is for me because it keeps happening, but I'm like, I come out stronger, and then as soon as I wanna just fucking say, "Fuck it," and be unhinged and just go dark, and it's in there, trust me, it's in there, and I but I'm like, "You know, no, fuck that, I'm not gonna let that win." Like, what?
Yeah.
I'll have a little bit of a breakdown or a crash out, and then I'm like, "Okay, see, get it back together, get your ass back out there." Because someone told me this too back in the day, they're like, "No one's coming, sister. No one's
Mm,
coming to save you. So if you don't
mhm,
save yourself, then you have nothing." And it's like
mhm.
and so that's always resonated with me. I'm like, "No one's coming." So it's me. And so that
And you
was
don't have
almost
the security to fall back on like some people do, you know? Some people can have more space to fuck up a bunch because they can call their parents or somebody to bail them
my
out, but,
mom.
like, you don't
Yeah.
have that. You
Yeah.
are that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was literally my mom, and we've talked about that. I'm like, "You had that." I was like, "I've never had that. I could never call. I could never go home. Me
Yeah.
and my husband are
Yeah.
fighting. I can't go somewhere." You know? So, there's not like the childhood home that
Yeah.
some people have, and I think that's fucking awesome, but it's such a foreign concept to me that I don't even know what that is. And I just don't want and that's another thing, my child will never experience. He will always have a home.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, again, I think this is why with my dark night of the soul and my healing journey, I was like, I wanna do something to give back, and this is why I started the Retrospective Paths podcast because
Yes.
I was like, this like, I'm so obsessed with hearing people's stories and how they come to be who they are, and I think it's
Same.
the human right? The human experience is just as much as I don't like humans most of the time, I feel like, there's some really good soul like, like, meeting you 2, like, it's just like,
Mhm.
we're out there, and it's just I think there's more of us, and as a collective, I think as we
Agreed.
right? I feel like we start finding our people too, our
Mhm.
other beings that are out there, and I
Mhm.
find it really interesting, and I'm excited about it, and it gives me I'm passionate about it, and then you lose friends. I've lost a lot of friends. We
Yeah.
just they were there for a moment, a season, and they're friends that I've had for years, and for whatever reason, we just stopped, and I'm like, "That's okay," because a
That's
part of me is
part
like,
of
"Well,
it
fuck
too. Of
you," and this and that, and yeah, I'm like,
course,
"I
I
don't
think
need you anyway."
all of that is a part of it and valuable, but
Sometimes you have to clear space though
exactly.
for like new people and
Yeah.
experiences and sometimes like the people you surround yourself are just like keeping you in a loop or a spiral of like
Stuck.
a certain they want to treat you like the person you were and not the person you're becoming. And so it's
Mhm.
like you need to be around people that see your potential or think you're better than you think you are so that you can see that in yourself and not people that just like knew you when you were that old version.
Exactly. That's 100%. Like,
And you're
I
literally making space for so many new people. Like,
Yeah.
we probably
mhm.
wouldn't have met if, you had all the same people in your space because you only have so much room, so much space for people too. And like anytime I've had a big friend breakup, I'm in the point of life where I really fucking trust it. Like I can have my feelings about it, but I trust it so much because I've seen how much it transforms my life when
Mm,
those things happen, and, like, literally
right.
that door to that friendship closing opens so many more doors. Like, I always then am flooded with abundance of incredible new people that, like, I wouldn't have had space for them if because that one person took up
Wow.
so much space,
Mhm.
you know?
That's great.
But
That's a
also
good
as a Scorpio, it's hard because you're like, okay, well, I know that I was like loyal as fuck to you and I would have done
yeah.
anything. And when it's not reciprocated, you're like, go fuck yourself. Like, I'm only giving you what you give back and I'll give, give, give. But if I'm not receiving
Mhm.
anything, like, I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to
No,
like beg you.
I
If
don't
I
you
do
will not
that.
chase.
don't want to be a part of this magic, then you're not invited.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
I feel that
and
too.
and my new thing is, like, trust people when they start acting funny. They start acting funny. There's a reason they're acting something's a little off. And before I'm like,
Uh-huh.
"Oh, they're probably this and that," and I shouldn't take it personally. No, something's off.
Well, you're
And
also intuitive as fuck. Like Scorpios
Mhm.
fucking
yes,
know shit too. And so
yes.
I hate like that's probably the thing that pisses me off the most is like when a friend is like causing you to second guess your own fucking intuitive knowing that something is fucking funky.
Mhm.
And then you are, like, making those excuses and trying to be understanding, and then they go and fucking prove you right, and you're like, "Fuck you,
Yeah.
I did know, and you made me doubt myself. How dare you?"
So we have maybe 15 minutes if you wanna, like,
Okay.
bring us to
Yeah.
kinda current and,
Yeah.
like, what's going on
Let's
and what everybody needs to
Yeah.
know
yeah.
about you.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, where were we? Yeah, Dark Night
Retrospective
of the Soul,
Paths
Retrospective
podcast
Paths.
giving back.
I Yeah, and my it was funny because I was I had a medium or a psychic that was based out of the UK, and I kind of touched on it a little bit, but I didn't tell her what, and she just all like the floodgates were open, and she's like, "You're gonna do this, you're gonna do this," and it was my podcast, and I was
Ugh,
just
you
like, "I have to do this." I was like, "I have to do this." And so instead of me being the Virgo rising that I am, wanting to get everything right, and before I go
Virgo
live,
rising
you
here, I
know
totally relate.
everything needs to be in place. I need all the materials and all the bricks to be laid down before I can do it, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was just like finally, I was just like, "Zania," this was, like, last year, I was like, "I'm gonna just fucking do it. I'm
Do
just
it.
gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it because why not?" And, like, like, sure, people may listen, people may not. People
Yeah.
may listen just to see if they come up in it, which I'm sure that happens, which I'm like, "Go for it." Yeah. Which I'm like, "Listen, I want you to hear everything." I feel
Look how
like
great
the
I'm doing now. I have a
yeah.
podcast. You're
And,
missing
like,
out on all of this.
yeah. Or you don't even get mentioned. No, just
Yeah.
kidding. So it's one of those things where, like, I still consider myself on a healing journey. I think we all I think we
That's
co
life.
we
It's never over.
highs and lows,
Mhm.
and I found myself really having, developing boundaries and, almost to the point where, like, it could be a little bit of an issue because I'm just like, "Fuck it." If I feel like I said, people are showing their true colors,
Mhm.
whether it's, friendships, family, work, wherever, I'm like,
Mhm.
"Okay, that's not for me, I'm out." Like, that's kinda where I'm at, and
Love
even
that.
with my husband, I'm like, "I don't like the way this feels. I'm gonna go ahead and walk over there because I don't wanna get involved. I don't wanna do this. I'm not doing this." And I
Yep.
Mhm.
felt myself even now working in where I work in entertainment, and it's just sometimes it's in any workplace, you find yourself a little unaligned with
Yeah.
what like, I love what I do, but I'm also like, I have my creative stuff that I like to delve into, and I need to make sure that I have space for that and projects that I work on, and it's just like, "Oh, that's me too." And I need
Mm-mm.
it's just finding that balance.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think I mean, there's so much more, but we don't that could take a whole day,
Yeah.
in
Always.
terms of, like, how I got to this point, and I think I'm always still I love learning about psychology and how humans think and esoteric, the great, what are those guys? Those guys that talk about, Marcus Aurelius and, like, all those Carl Jung,
Mm.
just these people that, before us, that they had it they were telling us back then, like,
Yeah.
the power of now, be present, like,
Mhm.
it's really not that serious, and
Yeah.
so a lot of that is, like, that's my church.
Love
Those
it.
are my psalms. Those are, music, I was just listening to Sabbath, running
You have
on
your
a
Yeah.
Aussie shirt on right now.
I got my Ozzy, hell yeah, Ozzy. That was another thing, I'm like, when Ozzy died, I was like, "How am
Oh,
I I'm still going through it, like, I'm still feeling it."
yeah.
I
Like, I
mean,
was
we
like,
can
"This
tell.
hurts."
Yeah.
It's
Like,
real.
I was like yeah, I was just like, I mean, when David Bowie died, I mean, I named my son
Oh my
Bowie, but,
gosh, yeah.
Cute.
so I yeah, so, like, I was like, I'm like, "Oh," I, like, told him, like, "You're lucky you weren't born now because 'cause you'd be named Ozzy for
Uh-huh.
sure."
Which I love, actually.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. things like that. It's like, why do people feel this? But it's funny because I have friends that are big music heads and they're just like, Z, and everyone's just like crying. We're like, okay, so I'm not the only weird one that thinks, even though I didn't know him. It's like,
Yeah,
but it's just like,
no.
that's my
Had an
therapy.
impact on
It's
your
all the
life.
memories, it's
Yeah.
all the
Yes, exactly. Going to the
moments.
hospice and
Yeah,
just in my childhood. And it's interesting though, like how things like that. And I wanted to actually do a pod on that because I'm like, I want to
you
talk to people
should.
who like, like, why do we get this way about artists or people, athletes?
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant died. People were really
I
Yeah.
don't
broken up about
understand
it.
the athlete thing, but I feel and maybe
I don't
some
either.
of it's, like, people gather in groups and that's, like, a bonding thing, I don't know, like,
Yes,
we like
right?
reality TV because it's, like, something to chat about, you know what I mean? So maybe that's
Yep.
what it is, but, like, music makes sense because, like, it's a full body experience.
Yeah.
It is, like, nostalgia. It's like when people have Alzheimer's, like, playing old music brings them back and brings their memories back, like,
Mhm.
sports doesn't fucking do that, you know what I mean? So, like,
No,
to
yeah.
me, that's not really the same, but music makes sense.
Right? Yeah, and so that's kinda that's where I'm at, and with the retrospective paths, I really wanna, bring on guests that obviously from all walks of life, but
Yeah.
also, like, let's talk about these topics, like,
Mhm.
because I love to learn. Like, by nature, I just love learning all the time, and if I could learn people's, like, shit, like, give me all your shit. Because we could either get through it together or maybe you kinda wanna stay in it, and I know some people that like staying in their shit. If you stay too
Yeah.
long, it doesn't smell anymore, right? So there's, like,
Damn.
That's such a
sometimes
great way of saying that.
yeah, because it's like it's
Oof.
true, and so
Yeah, so
that's
true.
I love learning about human experiences, really,
Mhm.
and that's where I'm at,
Yeah.
and I can give back and share my story or the stuff that I've been through and it's, like, not really judgy unless it's, like, really conservative, religious, you know, Republican shit,
I
then I
be
might be a little
judging.
judgy.
Yeah, same.
But if
I
you're,
feel like
a lit
you kind of answered one of our questions that we usually ask with that,
okay.
but it's the, question you usually ask.
Yeah. What's the one thing that you can't live without that you have to do for self-care?
Wow, okay. So it's okay, God, hyping myself up. I have to
Hell
hype
yeah,
myself up.
girl.
Ooh.
I look at myself because sometimes I'm feeling some type of way in the morning and, like,
Yep.
no makeup, I start seeing the aging, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
"You got this," like and I tell myself because I have to really look in my eyes because there was a while
Yeah.
I couldn't look at myself sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I look at myself and I have to hype myself up even if I'm not feeling it. So, and also just
Also, the
knowing that, like
alternative to aging is death, so you can do one or the other.
this is true. Yeah.
Gem.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think also just knowing that telling myself I can reset at any time. Like, I can
Yeah,
reset
I
Yeah.
it.
love that.
And, like, I'm big I had someone come up to me at Target, and she was, like, it was, like, a religious Christian young girl. She's like,
Probably
"This and
hang
that,
out
what
there
do you
now.
think?" Yeah, and she just came up to me, her and her friend. She's like, "What do you do, like, every" she had a question, and I was like, "I like being able to reset every morning or every at any second, I like to be able to say, 'You know what? I'm gonna shift this.
Starting
I'm gonna
over.
shift that.'"
Mm.
I need
Yeah.
to take that
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, that's really great
Do it.
advice.
It changes your life, even if you don't it just changes the way you see things, and I'm like, "I'm gonna reset this. I don't like the way this feels right now at 11:21,
Mhm.
and 11:22, it's gonna be different because
Love that.
fuck it. Why not?"
Yeah. If you could tell your younger self at any point in time, even up to yesterday, one thing, what would it be?
My younger self. Don't stop loving yourself. Don't stop loving yourself because I sometimes would not love myself, and I think that's huge to just keep because no matter what, it's like we came into this earth
Mhm.
by ourselves, we're leaving by ourselves, so
Mhm.
Yeah.
love yourself, like, keep going, just keep
Love
yeah,
it.
Yeah, that's such a
that's
good one.
it.
Love it so
Gotta
much.
live with yourself. Alright, we're
Yeah.
gonna pull a card. Okay, hold please.
That book is very loved. It's like in 5 pieces.
All right, we have the moon deck.
The bottom one.
Okay. Ooh, and we're in a Scorpio moon right now too. Or the moon's in Scorpio, right?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
today?
Or just moved into Sag.
Was that last night? That was
I
probably
think
last
this
night.
morning it went into Sag. But that's all about learning and adventure.
Mhm.
Movement awakens my creative spirit, which is what you were just saying this morning.
Yeah, I don't think that
Yeah.
was, like, on here, but before we got started, she was talking about how movement is her meditation, and that is fucking perfect.
I'm going to do one more.
Wow. Okay.
There is medicine in my shadow, which is
Ooh, that just
also
gave me
what we've been
chills.
talking about.
Wow.
That one hits.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, to everyone listening, we did interview the creator of the moon deck,
Mhm. A while
Nice.
ago.
Orana Leah, and so you should go back and listen to that one because it's really good.
Ooh, I will definitely go back. Yeah.
So
I
good.
love that.
Well, we love you. This is so great. We're
Yeah, I
really
love you.
grateful to just
Thank
like
you.
connect and get to know you and be in your energy. And
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
Thank
can't wait to
you.
actually meet in person.
I know, it's
And
gonna
it's gonna
happen.
happen. I've
Yeah.
already been telling. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go up there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, and we're
Yes.
gonna come to LA. We've been talking about that for a long time anyways, so we'll make that happen for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, I'll send you. They're down the street from me, not too far. They're doing it's called a witches. It's like not a school for witches, but it's like I gotta send you my
Cool.
friend sent me the link recently, and it's like a whole because it used to be a nightclub. And now they're turning it into something, and I don't know if necessarily it's not like a cafe, but it's something witch-oriented, and
Cool.
I was like, "Oh, that would be fun to go to," and yeah,
Yes,
I gotta
count
look
us
into it. I think they're
in.
gonna have
So fun.
classes and things like that, and yeah, so
Cool.
I love that
and
Tax
there's a good
write off.
community out here. Yeah, exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Where can people connect with you and find you
Yes!
and listen to your podcast?
The podcast Retrospective Paths is on all of the podcast platforms. I am also on Instagram and TikTok. I don't have a Facebook or a website just yet, but
Nah.
we'll get there at some point.
Yeah, same.
I mean, come on, it's fine. So Retrospective Paths podcast, and
Yeah, and
that's
definitely
me.
go listen, because if you are here and you love Waking Up the Witch, you're gonna love Retrospective Paths
thank
as
you.
well.
And if you go
Absolutely.
back 2 or 3 episodes, you can hear on our feed the interview that we did as well on Retrospective Paths.
Yes.
It's
So good.
amazing.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. We hope you have a
Yeah.
beautiful day.
Thank you both. Have a good one. Bye.
This episode has been produced by my husband, Curtis Burgess.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Waking Up the Witch.
And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please email us at wakingupthewitch@gmail.com.
And don't forget to head over to the link in our bio on Instagram for all the ways to connect with both Amber and Taylar. And go to moonbeeswellness.com for all your self-care and witchy needs.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Ow. Ow.